In this video, I'm going to be making some woven wood panels in a diamond twill. It's part of a project we've been working on for a while now, and these are going to finish it off. Bit of sun flare there. G'day, welcome to 𝗏𝗏 𝗦𝗿. My name is 𝗏𝗏, and we're on the home stretch for this project. These are the top panels that are going to finish these screens off, that if you're been following along, you've been watching my progress, and if you're joining us for the first time, well, you can check out the other videos or just see how to do these particular diamond twill woven screens, panels, thingy what's. But anyway, so I've got to do some persuasion of the tenons, got to sort of hammer them down a little bit to persuade them to fit into the mortises that I've cut, and then I'm going to start weaving the first panel on this screen. Just got to get this stood up nice and straight, because when it's leaning over, it's a real problem with my back because I'm sort of working like this. So that's better. Now, while I love working with hand tools, these strips were obviously cut with machine tools. To do that by hand would be a phenomenal endeavor. And yeah, just when you've got access to the big toys, you might as well use them. So I've got more than a couple of these to get through. Pretty simple process. I took the offcuts that I got from the skip. I trimmed down to remove the molding on one side, put them through the thicknesser, and then I would cut a strip off with the bandsaw. Once I'd done that for all the bits, then I put them all back through the thicknesser, planed off the sawn edge, and repeated. Now that way I'm left with a strip that's got one smoothish surface that's been thicknessed and one rough sawn surface. So I'm going to put the rough sawn surface to the inside of the panel, what will be the sort of the side facing the house, and the smoother surface to the outside. If this was, you know, a shoji screen or something, different story, then I'd be hand planing every piece. We're going to start with making sure that these are the right length, and some of them obviously aren't. Some of them came from a short one, so we'll discard those. And some of them, this is the thing with machining, you often get mistakes, you know, rejects. You get sort of a percentage of stuff that you just got to throw away, like that's been, you see, it's no good. So we'll put those aside, and then these ones hopefully should be very, very, very close to the right length. Yep, pretty much spot on. To get started, you want to put a piece of board behind where the screen's going to be. Need a bigger clamp for that. Where's my clamp? Excuse me. So these screens are part of the process of cleaning up. So yes, once these are done, it's going to really, really help. I'm going to put that on both sides. Okay, and from experience with the other panels I've done, because this is the third one, the last one, I've worked out that with this thickness of material, I want about 18 strips in the vertical. Here's one of the first ones I did, and you can see there's just not enough density in the weave. There's too many gaps, and that's allowing too much movement. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7. This getting started bit is a bit tricky. So just to start with, I'm going to put 6 pieces up there. And then, I should have already done this, is get, So in the temporary, we're just going to put one of these up the top. Now you want a little bit of spring, because as these go backwards and forwards, they're going to take up a little bit of length, but it's really, really not much. So I want to try and hold that straightish. And I know where the depth of the groove comes to, so mark that. So get them leveled up, but then I want to cut all the others. And we're just going to do a temporary over under weave, just like we did for the bottom panel. And the purpose of this is to lock these warp pieces in place so they don't move around, because you can see how easily they're moving around. I did make up a thing with nails, like a board like this with nails, but I found it didn't really help speed up the process. You still had them going all over the place. Just that over-under weave there keeps things secure. They're still going to move around, but they're not just going to fall over. So we'll get some more. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. Let's get a 6th one in. There we go. But what I would like to do is get the 9 in there. And the reason for that is because the structure of the weave changes at the 9th weft point to get the diamond twill, but you'll see that in a sec. All right, so there's 9 of them in there. So now we're going to start setting up to do the diamond twill. A twill is over 2, under 2 to start with. Under, over, under, over. And that's our first weft piece. That's a keeper. Now I want this to form a diamond, which means I want the diagonals of the twill going this way in this corner of the panel. That means I want to be over 2 here. So I go under 1, over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2 here, or from your perspective, we're going over. So now we want to go over 1, under 2, over 2, under 2. There we go. There. Probably just skip ahead while I get this next bit done. Now, depending on how thinly you cut your strips, depends on how closely you'll be able to pack them. The thinner, the closer. The thicker, you got to leave more room, because the pieces won't deform around each other, so you won't be able to get them close. All right, now we've got this start of this quarter here. So now on this side, we want them coming up towards the left. And we do that by reversing the direction which we're threading. So at the halfway point, you want thinner ones at this point. So this one, we're going to do a full reversal. So immediately at this halfway point, anything, if it's going over, then when we put this one through, it's going under. And you start back here a bit, it's a bit easier. There. So that's our halfway point. Just there. Because we want the diagonals going the other way, so we want that. Okay, so there we go, like so. I think that's right. Nope, that's not right. That's better. And you can start to see the diagonals are starting to form going this way. I think it's really easy to make mistakes while you're doing this, especially when you're practicing. So you just got to take your time, think it through, and yeah, be prepared to pull pieces out when you make mistakes. And double check, triple check your work especially as you're getting used to it, as you're laying each piece in, because once you've laid a few pieces in, it's hard to fix without ripping everything else out. Very easy to break these by pushing on them too hard. All right, now what I'm doing here is I'm just using another stick to help it through, just as we did with the bottom section. So if I got that through like so, and then I can tip it up and push it down. There, got it. Right. And now we can separate these out a bit and get back to our even spacing. So just want to bring those back a bit. Well, there's something else to watch. As you're moving these backwards and forwards, there is a tendency for them to creep up. So you can see there, they've moved up. So we've got to get those pushed down so that now, because it's much easier to fix it now than it is later. Push these down a bit so we, damn it. Now when you're pushing these down, it's best to keep your fingers kind of perpendicular, because if you push down like that, there's a really good chance you'll get splinters up underneath your fingernails. That's right that way, that's right that way. Cool. Right. Now this is our halfway point. Yeah, here's where you've really got to concentrate. Get those pushed down a wee bit more. Right, now again, at the halfway point, if you've got a thinner one, it's a good idea. Now here, we're doing exactly the same thing as we did at this point. Everything gets reversed because we're halfway through the panel, we're halfway through the weave, so at this point, we're reversing everything. So here, we're going over, that means we go under. And we do that all the way along. Right, push it down. Now it's going to be hard to push down because you've got a reverse at every point. That means you're trying to get every single piece of wood to bend the other way at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break at this point. These need to be pushed down a little bit further. That needs to come down a bit further. My back's killing me from standing in this position for this long. So yeah, time to take a break. Let these ease in and then we'll come back and continue. What you could do though, is if you didn't have a dodgy back like mine, is that you stop working on this panel and you keep working on the others. Now, just to carefully get these down, you can beat them down. Just getting but you've got to do it carefully, and you've got to just do a little bit at a time on each side. Tap them down. And what I'm doing is I'm just sticking the corner of this block of wood into that gap there and just tapping. Just a little bit each time. We'll let that rest and then we'll do some more later. Now, I'm not going to try and push the last two down because we haven't got enough woven. It's just going to put too much force on the warps. So yeah, do a bit and then you can go back to the area where you were working and then keep going on that. Oh, these last few get really tricky. Because we've got this here, it can be a bit awkward working on the top here, but we need it there to make sure that these stay at right angles, because the further we go up, there's a greater tendency for these to move. Even if your mortise and tenon joints are perfect, there's still going to be a greater chance to the force of what we're doing here to get them to move out from each other. So having this in place and having the tenons partially into the mortises keeps things square, keeps things where they need to be. Right, well I've got as much as I can do there now. So I've sort of moved that one along. I've got this one to 19. I've got this one to, this is 17. So I just got to let them relax, ease in, and I've just got to move on, continue with the rest of the panels. On the final straight now. Just got a few more details to do on these screens and they can be installed. Actually, truth to be told, they're already installed. I'm just going to work on the video to show you that. And the main two purposes of the screens. The first one was the original idea I had was to screen off the front of the property and make things look pretty from the outside. But the second thing that came about as we got Lucky the pup was that we needed to be able to close off that front of the yard so that we could let him run around without him getting out onto the road. Now, unfortunately, to do that and do it easily, what I used was all the old furniture that got pulled out of the boys' room when I replaced it with the bookcases that I made. Didn't look pretty, but it did the job. And so the plan I've been working to is get the screens done, and that way I can screen off that area and get rid of all that rubbish that's out the front, which is currently, well, was currently forming the fence, and then have a nice pretty fence to keep Lucky in. Unfortunately, despite me talking with my neighbours, explaining the situation that we've got with my disabled sick son, who's fortunately has only been in hospital a few times in the last few months, but also my own mental health and my lack of ability to get things done. Like some days I've got zero function and I can't do anything. Other days it's 1 or 2 and I make the most of those productive hours. Occasionally I'll get a good half day or even 2/3 of a day. And I've tried to explain that to my neighbours and everyone's been very supportive to my face. Unfortunately, I have a neighbour who has made a complaint to the council and now the council is involved. And unfortunately, that's going to be really counterproductive because all the anxiety that I've now got from knowing that someone I've been talking to has been nice to my face and supportive to my face, but actually is being, well, counterproductive, to put it nice. That's going to slow me down. And as much, I was already doing my best. I was already working to a plan, but getting so sick in October and November meant that this has taken so long, and all the stuff that I wanted to get done before summer just hasn't happened. But I'm trying to focus on the idea that, okay, I've got a plan and I'm working that plan. The screens are in place. The video for that is coming very shortly. All that very unsightly fence made from old furniture that was out the front to keep Lucky in is gone. A whole stack of stuff. And now that I've got that priority done, I'm now working back through the yard, getting the other things done, which was always part of the plan. It's just I wasn't able to do it fast enough to keep people happy. And quite frankly, I don't have a lot of sympathy for their position, because it seems that they don't have any sympathy for my position. So thank you guys for your support. If you're just joining us, please like, subscribe to help me grow this channel. If you want to support in other ways, you can buy something from the eBay store. And there's also my other content that I'll be producing on my other channels. Hopefully, because it's been a real struggle to get anything done the last couple of months. And this last incident hasn't made it easier. Hopefully 2020, I'm going to be doing a lot more, and so stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for the video coming up where we do the screen reveal in place. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.